Hi, David here, David Burr from Carroll Accountants, and today I'm going to be talking about the cost of sales formula in more detail. So Carroll Accountants, we specialise in hospitality. There's our website there, www.carrollaccountants.co.uk. You could also email me at hello@carrollaccountants.co.uk if you need anything from this presentation. I'll gladly share it. Okay, so today I'm going to use a spreadsheet because I think that's the best way to show the cost of sales formula and how it interacts with the gross profit formula. So here is the spreadsheet that I've been working on. So first of all, the basics, the cost of sales per line item. So it's a very easy way of working out a gross profit and a cost of sales for an item. So like in this example, a bottle of wine. So the sale price per item from the till would include VAT, and it'd be £24. First thing you've got to do is remove the VAT to give you the net selling price, excluding VAT. To do that, you just divide the £24 by 1.2, as long as your VAT is 20%. So it's C3 there, divided by 1.2. Gives you £20, excluding VAT. The cost of the item, when you're just doing an item, the cost of sales is literally the cost of the item, is £8, and you get that from the supplier's invoice. Subtract that from the net sales price will give you £12. So your gross profit is £12 and your cost of sales is £8. As a percentage, your gross profit, divide that by the net selling price to give you 60%. In fact, that is if you've had that as a number or something, it would be 0.60. You then need to click on percentage to give you 60%. And you can do the same thing with the cost of sales. The £8 divided by the 20 will give you 40%. Notice that the two together will equal 100%, and they always will. So if you have the GP percentage of an item, let's say 50%, then the cost of sales will be 50%. Okay, so the next spreadsheet that I've done here, which is very useful, and your accountant, I'm sure, can send you this, or we can. This is if you haven't got the selling price yet, and you need to set the selling price on the till, and you want to use a target GP percentage. So let's say you say to your accountant, what should I get on wine? They might say 65%. You type 65% in there. You know what the cost price is of £8, which is now 35%, and 35 and 65 is 100. Okay, this spreadsheet will then work out, and I won't show you what the formula is, it's a little bit more complicated, but it'll work out £22.90 excluding VAT. You then times that by 1.2 if the VAT is 20% to give you your till price of £27. If we go back to 60%, that should be £24 as per the previous tab. Okay, so that's the basics of how to work out the cost of the item is your cost of sales, and your GP is the interrelated part of that formula. Okay, so you've got £12 is your gross profit and £8 is your cost of sales. Obviously, you're not just going to sell one bottle of wine in your restaurant or your pub or your cafe. You're going to sell lots of varied products. And to do that, you'll need a different formula. You'll now need to include what you started off with, opening stock, and what you still hadn't sold, closing stock. You add the opening stock to your purchases and you deduct, so there that is, adding those two together, and then you deduct your closing stock, giving you a total cost of sales, in this example, units of 100 units. So we started off with 50 units, 50 bottles of wine, let's say. We purchased 200. That gave us 250 bottles available to sell. But we had 150 left at the end of January, so we only sold 100 cost of sales. As you can see, selling units 100 matches the cost of sales in units 100. Using the same prices from the first tab, 100 bottles of wine at £20 a bottle gives you £2,000 of sales. £8 a bottle cost of 100 bottles gives you 800. gives you a gross profit of 1,200, 2,000 minus 8,000, which gives you a GP of 60%. Okay, and just so you know, some accountants, we do this as well. Rather than putting in the profit and loss, opening stock plus purchases less closing stock, we just add the opening stock and the closing stock together to give us the net stock movement. So if you see the opening was 50, the closing was 150, so altogether the stock has moved 100 bottles, right? Just to prove that works, you've got the 200 purchases still minus the stock movement, gives you 100 again, and again it's the same GP. Okay, so that's the equation. Opening stock plus your purchases less your closing stock, all of those together equals cost of sales, or the shortcut, purchases plus stock movement, and again gives you the cost of sales. You then deduct the cost of sales from your sales, and that gives you the gross profit. So I've often been asked by clients that it's really complicated, this stock movement line, Dave, in the accounts. I don't really understand why it goes up and down, and I can't really get my head around it. Do we have to have it? So I've now done a cost of sales over a number of periods. This is a 6-period gross profit. So you've got your sales here. Down here is the units, by the way. So you've got your sales in units, okay? And if you go up here, that's going to be your unit sales by £20. There's your sales, right? You've got your purchase units down here. How many bottles of wine you purchased each month. And of course, that is therefore timed by £8. All right, and it's cost of the wine. And there you go, there you've got all your purchases. Then you've got stock movement. Sorry, there's your purchases line there. Then you've got stock movement, and that's going to be the net effect of the opening and the stock. Now, you know from the previous slide, just to remind you, stock movement was minus 100. So minus 100 times 8 is minus £800, and therefore the total cost of sales is £800, and the gross profit therefore is 1,200 as per the previous slide. And as you can see, down here, every single month we've made 60% gross profit, and after 6 months, 60% gross profit. So it ties in nicely. Now, just to prove what would happen if you ignored stock movement and just took your sales less your purchases, which lots of people try to do, I've done a quarterly one here. March quarter sales, the March quarter purchases, I've got nothing in for stock movement, and therefore total cost of sales is just the purchases, right? Then the gross profit is the sales minus the purchases, and you can see for this quarter, March quarter, it comes out at 51%, and for the June quarter it's 66%. For the whole 6 months it is 60%, and that's because over the whole 6 months, if you can see, the stock movement here ends up being 0. Okay, as you can see by the stock movement in units, it ends up over 6 months as 0 stock movement, meaning the opening stock happened to be the same as the closing stock, and only on that occasion could you ignore stock movement. Okay, hopefully that makes more sense. It is quite a complicated formula. It's not the simplest things in hospitality trade to work out, especially if you don't have valuations done by a stock taker, or if you don't value the stock yourself. I recommend getting stock takes done at least initially every month when you first take on a business, or when you first buy a brand new business every month. Maybe if you're brand new to the trade, have the stock taker doing the stock every month for a whole year. And when you get on top of it and you're improving, you could move your stock takes to say every 6 or 8 weeks. And even if you did a stock count once a quarter, at least you'll be able to get the accounts accurate once a quarter, as can be proven by this. If you didn't have stock movements, these accounts would be way out, right? Okay, once again, this is Carroll Accountants. If any of these spreadsheets you might find useful, especially that one there, desired selling price, please let me know. Email me again at hello@carrollaccountants.co.uk, and I'll do my best to get you that over swiftly. Thanks for listening, and I'll see you again.